Marcus Chun pressed his cheek against the cold metal of his rifle. Through the scope, he watched the Korthax patrol move through the ruins of New Tokyo Colony. His breathing was slow and steady. 3 days he had been waiting in this destroyed building. 3 days without food. Only small sips of water. But Marcus was patient. His target would come. The Korthax Empire had invaded human space 6 months ago. They thought humans were weak. Easy prey. Marcus smiled behind his scope. They were learning differently now. One dead officer at a time. A shimmer in the air caught his eye. The personal shield of a high-ranking Korthax. Finally, General Vex Thor stepped into view. The alien was 3 meters tall with 4 arms and skin like polished obsidian. Marcus adjusted for wind, calculated the shield frequency. His special rounds could punch through if he hit the weak point. The general stopped to inspect a captured human transport. Perfect. Marcus squeezed the trigger. The bullet sparked against the shield. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the shield flickered and died. The second shot was already in the air. It caught Vex Thor in the head. Purple blood sprayed across the transport. Marcus was already moving. Pack on his back, rifle broken down in seconds. He had killed 17 Korthax officers in the past month. They called him the Ghost of New Tokyo. But ghosts leave no trace. He slipped through a hole in the floor, dropping into the sewers below. The Korthax response was faster than usual. Marcus heard their hover tanks before he saw them. The sewers shook as plasma fire rained down. They were collapsing the entire district. Marcus ran faster. His enhanced lungs burned. Cybernetic legs pushed him beyond normal human limits. He burst from a drain pipe just as the tunnel collapsed behind him. Roll. Sprint. Dive. A plasma bolt seared the air where his head had been. More Korthax soldiers poured from drop ships. They had found him faster this time. Much faster. Marcus reached for his backup pistol. Empty. The rifle was still in pieces. No time to assemble. He pulled his combat knife. If he was going to die, he would die fighting. The first Korthax soldier rounded the corner. Marcus threw the knife. It lodged in the alien's throat. He grabbed the fallen plasma rifle, spun, and fired. 2 more down. But there were dozens now. Hundreds. A stun blast caught him in the shoulder. His arm went numb. Another in the leg. Marcus fell to his knees. He tried to raise the rifle one-handed. A boot kicked it away. General Thakval stepped forward. The Korthax Supreme Commander himself. His 6 eyes studied Marcus with cold interest. The Ghost of New Tokyo, Thakval said in accented English. You have killed many of my officers. Marcus spat blood. Not enough. Thakval's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. Brave. But your war is over. The general drew his ceremonial blade. The edge hummed with energy. I will make an example of you. Your death will be broadcast across human space. They will see their hero fall. Hope will die with you. Marcus met the general's gaze. No fear. Only defiance. My father taught me something. A man can die, but what he fights for lives on. Your father is not here to save you. Marcus smiled. Blood ran down his chin. No, but you just made the biggest mistake of your life. What mistake? You killed his son. Thakval drove the blade through Marcus's chest. The young sniper gasped once. His eyes found a security camera on a nearby building. Still functioning. Still recording. Tell him, Marcus whispered. Tell my father, tell Alexei Chun, that I remembered everything he taught me. Tell him I died with honor. His eyes closed. The Ghost of New Tokyo was dead. Thakval cleaned his blade. Transmit this recording to all human colonies. Let them see their hero's death. Let them despair. The Korthax soldiers cheered. Their general had killed the humans' greatest warrior. The war would be over soon. But on Earth, in a small cabin in the Siberian wilderness, an old man watched the recording. He had been splitting wood when the message came through. The axe fell from nerveless fingers. Alexei Chun watched his son die, watched the alien general's smugness, heard the cheers of the soldiers. He stood very still for a long moment. Then, he walked into his cabin, to the basement, to a door that had been sealed for 20 years. His hand pressed against the scanner. Authorization recognized, the computer said. Welcome back, Baba Yaga. The basement lights flickered on. 20 years of dust covered everything. But the weapons were still clean, still ready. Alexei had maintained them even in retirement. Old habits die hard. He moved past the rifle racks, past the explosives, past things that Earth Defense Command had claimed were destroyed. At the back wall, a black case sat on a pedestal. Alexei opened it with steady hands. Inside lay his old combat suit. Not power armor like the young soldiers wore now. This was something older, something worse. Synthetic muscle fibers that multiplied human strength by 10. Neural interfaces that made thought and action one. Armor that could stop anything short of a tank round. And the mask. White ceramic with red markings. The face of Baba Yaga. The witch. The boogeyman that aliens used to frighten their children. Alexei lifted the mask. Memories flooded back. The Proxima campaign. The Siege of Titan. The day of Black Rain, when he killed 300 Saurian warriors alone. They had called him humanity's greatest weapon. Until the peace treaty. Until they asked him to disappear. He had been happy to vanish. To raise his son in peace. To teach Marcus woodcraft and hunting instead of killing. But Marcus had enlisted anyway. Had become a sniper. Had died as his father once lived. The suit still fit. It remembered his body. Welcomed him back like an old friend. Alexei sealed the helmet, and the HUD came alive. 20 years out of date, but still functional. He would upgrade along the way. A soft sound made him turn. His wife stood at the basement door. Elena had aged gracefully. Silver hair. Kind eyes. She had known this day might come when she married him. They killed our boy, she said simply. Yes. The old contacts? Your team. Dead. Retired. Scattered. Alexei checked the power cells in his weapons. I go alone. Elena nodded. She had been a soldier once too. She understood. The Korthax Empire has 10,000 worlds. Millions of soldiers. I don't need to kill them all. Just the ones that matter. The ones that were there. He loaded a rifle with antimatter rounds. Highly illegal. Highly effective. And their general, it won't bring Marcus back. No, but they recorded his death. Broadcasted as propaganda. Alexei's voice was calm. Terribly calm. They wanted to break human spirit. Instead, they woke something that should have stayed buried. Elena kissed his helmet. Give them hell. I'll give them worse. Alexei walked to his old ship. It sat under sensor-proof, netting behind the cabin. A stealth corvette from the war. Black as space and twice as cold. The engines hummed to life at his touch. As the ship lifted off, Alexei opened a secure channel. Earth Defense Command responded immediately. They recognized his codes, even after 20 years. This is Admiral Hayes. Alexei? Is that really you? They killed my son. Silence on the channel. Then, we saw the broadcast. I'm sorry, but you can't. I'm not asking permission. The peace treaty ended when they invaded. Check your regulations, Admiral. Section 7, subsection 3. In times of war, all retired special operations assets may return to active status at their discretion. More silence. Papers rustling. Technically correct. But, Alexei, you're one man. The Korthax Empire has never faced Baba Yaga. Has never seen what one human can do when you take everything from him. Alexei plotted a course for Korthax space. Do not try to stop me. Do not get in my way. And, Admiral, yes, you might want to start preparing. When I'm done, the Korthax will come for Earth. They'll throw everything they have at us. Make sure we're ready. What are you planning? I'm going to remind the galaxy why humanity survived when 1,000 other species didn't. Why we're still here when older races are dust. We're not special because we're strong or smart or fast. We're special because when you hurt one of us, we'll burn down the universe to hurt you back. The connection ended. Alexei's ship slipped past Earth's defense grid and jumped to hyperspace. On Korthax Prime, General Thakval celebrated with his officers. The ghost of New Tokyo was dead. Human resistance was crumbling. Victory was near. A junior officer approached nervously. Sir, intelligence has detected an Earth ship entering our space. Just one. Yes, sir. Very old design. Stealth model from their last war. Thakval looked. One ship? Let them come. What can one human do? In the depths of hyperspace, Alexei Chun prepared his weapons. What could one human do? The galaxy was about to remember why they once called him Baba Yaga. Why alien mothers whispered his name to frighten their children. Why entire species had signed peace treaties just to make him stop. They had killed his son. Now, he would teach them about consequences. The Korthax monitoring station Theta 9 floated at the edge of their space. 200 crew. State-of-the-art sensors. It was their early warning system against human attacks. It died in silence. Alexei's ship drifted among the wreckage. He had disabled their communications first. Then, life support. Then he had waited. The crew had tried to evacuate. None made it to the escape pods. He downloaded their database. Military deployments. Officer assignments. Supply routes. Most importantly, the duty roster for New Tokyo. Every soldier who had been there when Marcus died. 843 names. Alexei memorized them all. His next target was a supply depot on Korthax 7. The planet below housed millions of civilians. Alexei ignored them. He was not here for slaughter. He was here for precision. The depot exploded at shift change. Maximum military casualties. Minimum civilian. The antimatter charges vaporized everything in a kilometer radius, including Colonel Vraxton. He had led the ground assault on New Tokyo. One name crossed off. 842 to go. The Korthax response was predictable. They sent a destroyer squadron to hunt him. 6 ships. 2,000 crew. They found his ship easily. Too easily. Captain Morvac smiled as they surrounded the human vessel. Surrender, human. You are outgunned and outnumbered. Yes, Alexei's voice was calm over the comm I am. The destroyer's lights went out. Then life support. Then gravity. In the darkness, something moved through the corridors. The crew tried to fight. Plasma bolts lit the darkness. Screams echoed through the comm when rescue ships arrived 6 hours later. They found Morvac's destroyer floating dead. The crew was alive but unconscious. All except 18. The 18 who had been at New Tokyo. They were arranged in the cargo bay. Their deaths had been creative. Written on the wall in Korthax blood. 818 to go. Baba Yaga, the rescue teams ran. They reported to Korthax command. Panic spread through the military. The human was not just attacking. He was hunting. Specifically. Methodically. General Thakval read the reports in his secure bunker. Impossible. No single human could do this. His intelligence officer disagreed. Sir, we've identified him. Alexei Chun. Earth Special Operations. Retired 20 years ago. Codename, Baba Yaga. Never heard of him. The officer pulled up files. Classified. Sealed. Hidden. The Proxima Campaign. He killed Field Marshal Gorvin and his entire honor guard. Alone. The Siege of Titan. He held the North Gate for 6 days. The Saurians sent 1,000 warriors. He sent back pieces. Thakval studied the images. Security footage from old battles. A figure in black armor moving through enemy forces like death itself. Too fast. Too precise. Not quite human anymore. Enhance our defenses. Triple the guards. He's just one. Alarm screamed. The lights cut out. Emergency power kicked in, bathing everything in red. Something was in the bunker. Impossible. This facility is secret. Underground. Shielded. His bodyguards formed a protective circle. Elite warriors. The best of the Korthax Empire. They lasted 37 seconds. Alexei stepped over their bodies. His armor was painted with fresh blood. The white mask tilted as he studied Thakval. General. Ow. Your security chief. Major Krell's son. He was at New Tokyo. I asked him where to find you. Alexei reloaded his weapon casually. He was very helpful. Eventually, Thakval drew his ceremonial blade. The same one that had killed Marcus. I'm not afraid of you, human. You should be. The general charged. He was fast for his size. Trained from birth. A warrior of the highest caliber. Alexei shot him in both knees. Thakval crashed to the ground, screaming. My son's name was Marcus. He was 23. He liked old books and could track a deer through fresh snow. He joined the military because he believed in protecting people. Alexei knelt beside the general. You made him kneel, made him helpless. Then, you killed him for your propaganda. It's war. Your species invaded. No, we were colonizing empty worlds. You attacked because you saw us as weak. Easy prey. Alexei placed his pistol against Thakval's head. You were wrong. Kill me then. End it. Not yet. You broadcasted my son's death. Made a spectacle. Only fair I return the favor. Alexei activated his helmet camera. The feed went live across Korthak's military channels. Every soldier, every officer, every commander watched as their supreme general whimpered on the floor. "This is Alexei Chun, father of Marcus Chun. You call me Baba Yaga. You killed my son. Now I'm going to kill everyone who was there. Everyone who cheered. Everyone who watched and did nothing. And when I'm done with them, I'm coming for the rest of your military. One by one." He looked directly at the camera. "Run." The shot echoed through the bunker. General Thakval, supreme commander of the Korthak's empire, died slower than Marcus had. Much slower. Alexei walked out of the bunker. No one tried to stop him. The guards at the entrance had watched the broadcast. They ran. Smart choice. 817 names left on his list. The Korthak's empire had trillions of citizens, millions of soldiers, thousands of ships. They were terrified of one human. The Korthak's empire had ruled 10,000 worlds for a millennium. They had never known fear. Now they learned. Every military base triple-checked its soldiers. Anyone who had been at New Tokyo was reassigned. Hidden. Protected. It didn't matter. Alexei found them anyway. On Korthak's 3, a training facility burned. 42 names crossed off the list. On the moon of Jack-Sur, a troop transport exploded during boarding. 60 names gone. Each death was recorded. Each death was broadcast. The Korthaks tried everything. They sent assassins. Alexei sent back pieces. They offered bounties. The bounty hunters never reported back. They tried to trap him. He turned their traps into tombs. Worse than the deaths was the fear. Korthak soldiers started refusing assignments. Desertion rates skyrocketed. Who wanted to die for an empire that couldn't protect them from one human? And the humans were watching. On occupied Earth colonies, resistance fighters grew bold. If one old man could terrify the Korthak's empire, what could they do together? Sabotage increased. Ambushes multiplied. The whisper spread through human space. Baba Yaga has returned. In a Korthak's prison camp on Kepler 442, guards noticed their human prisoners acting strange. They stood straighter. Smile more. When asked why, an old prisoner answered, "Haven't you heard? The witch is hunting, and witches have long memories." That night, the prison camp exploded. Not from outside, from within. The humans had been building weapons from scraped metal and stolen chemicals. They had been waiting for hope. Baba Yaga gave it to them. Admiral Korvex called an emergency meeting of the Korthak's high command. "This cannot continue. One human is destroying our entire military structure. Then send the entire fleet." General Maxer slammed the table. "Burn Earth. Kill them all. And leave our borders defenseless?" The Saurians are already massing ships. They smell blood. It was true. Other species watched the Korthak stumble. Old enemies prepared to strike. The empire that had seemed invincible now looked fragile. All because of one man. "We must negotiate," Admiral Korvex said finally. "Offer him something. Anything. What could we possibly offer the human?" Before anyone could answer, the lights went out. Emergency power failed to activate. In the darkness, a hologram appeared. Alexei Chun, his white mask splattered with purple blood. "Negotiate." His voice was soft, amused. "You want to negotiate? Now, after you murder my son for entertainment. We can offer reparations," Korvex stammered. "Territory. Resources. Name your price." "My price." The hologram walked around the table. It shouldn't have been possible. Holograms couldn't move independently. "Bring my son back." That's impossible." "Then, we have nothing to discuss." The hologram stopped behind General Maxer. "You were at New Tokyo, weren't you, General? In the command ship. Safe. Watching." Maxer's forearms trembled. I was following orders. So was I once. I followed orders to stop. To disappear. To let old enemies become new friends." The hologram leaned down. "But you had to wake me up. You had to remind me what I am." "What are you?" "I'm the reason humanity survived first contact. I'm a nightmare that made the Saurians beg for peace. I'm the demon that broke the Vel Collective." The mask turned to face each commander. "I'm what happens when you push humans too far." The hologram vanished. The lights returned. General Maxer sat very still in his chair. Too still. Purple blood dripped from his nose. Dead. Poisoned. In the most secure military facility in the Empire. Written on the table in front of him. 726 to go. The high command scattered. They ran to different worlds, different systems. It didn't matter. Alexei had their scent now. And, worse, humanity had remembered something. They remembered that they were not prey. On Earth, Admiral Hayes watched the footage from the Korthax High Command. His staff stood in shocked silence. One human, one angry father, and the greatest empire in the galaxy was crumbling. Sir, his aide whispered. Should we try to stop him? Hayes thought of Marcus Chun, a good soldier, a hero who died protecting human colonies. Stop him? No, but we should prepare. For what, sir? For what comes next? The Korthax Empire is bleeding. Their enemies are circling. Their soldiers are terrified. Hayes smiled grimly. And Alexei Chun just reminded the galaxy why humanity owns the word vindictive in 37 languages. Out in the darkness between stars, Alexei studied his list. 726 names. Each one a debt owed. Each one a promise to his son. The Korthax Empire thought they had killed a human sniper. They had. But they had also done something far more dangerous. They had given his father a reason to stop being human, to become Baba Yaga once more. And Baba Yaga did not forgive, did not forget, did not stop, not until every debt was paid in blood. 6 months passed. The list grew shorter. The Korthax Empire grew weaker. Alexei had become more than a man. He was a force of nature, a walking apocalypse in black armor. The Korthax tried everything. Nuclear weapons, orbital bombardamentos, biological warfare. Nothing worked. He adapted. He survived. He hunted. Other species took notice. The Saurians attacked Korthax border worlds. The Vel reclaimed lost territory. The Drakons, who had been slaves for centuries, rose in rebellion. The Empire was dying, not from massive battles or grand strategies, from one human who refused to stop. The last 100 names on Alexei's list tried something desperate. They gathered on a single ship and fled toward the galactic rim, beyond civilized space. They would hide among dead stars until the human grew old and died. They made it 3 days. Alexei's ship appeared from nowhere. The fleeing Korthax sent distress signals, begged for mercy, offered to surrender. The only response was silence. Then boarding pods. Then footsteps in the corridors. Captain Jervik had been a sergeant at New Tokyo. He hid in a maintenance shaft as his shipmates died. The screams echoed through the vents. Sometimes plasma fire, sometimes blades, sometimes just wet sounds and silence. He tried to be quiet, tried not to breathe. A hand reached through the grate and pulled him out. Alexei held him by the throat. The white mask studied him. You recorded it, Alexei said softly. My son's death. You operated the camera. Zoomed in on his face as he died. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please. Saw the... Alexei tilted his head. Are you sorry because you did it? Or sorry because I found you? Jervik couldn't answer. Couldn't breathe. The hand around his throat was not quite human anymore. Too strong. Too steady. My son was sorry too. Sorry he couldn't save more people. Sorry he couldn't stop your invasion. The grip tightened. He apologized to me once for wanting to be a soldier. Said he knew I wanted him to have a peaceful life. I told him I was proud, that protecting others was the highest calling. Jervik's vision blurred. Darkness crept in from the edges. You took that from him. From me. From every human who believed in something better. Alexei's voice never rose. Never showed emotion. So no, I don't accept your apology. The last name on the list died quietly. Alexei let the body fall. It was done. Every soldier who had been at New Tokyo was dead. The debt was paid. But the war was not over. The Korthax Empire sued for peace. They offered everything. Complete withdrawal from human space. Reparations. Technology. Trade agreements. Admiral Hayes negotiated for Earth. The terms were generous. Suspiciously generous. They're terrified, Hayes told the Earth Council. Not of our fleet. Not of our weapons. Of him. Of what one human did when pushed too far. Where is Chun now? Unknown. His ship disappeared after the last killing. But Hayes paused. The Korthax included a specific clause in the treaty. Alexei Chun must never enter their space again. They're more afraid of one man than our entire military. The treaty was signed. The Korthax withdrew. Other species approached humanity with new respect and fear. The story spread across the galaxy. The Korthax Empire, the greatest military power in known space, brought to its knees by a single grieving father. On Earth, they built a monument to the heroes of the war. Marcus Chin's name was carved in marble. Below it, a simple inscription. He held the line. The monument was visited often. Veterans, families, children learning history. But sometimes, late at night, an old man in worn clothes would stand before his son's name. He never stayed long, never spoke to anyone, just a father visiting his son. Elena found him there one night. She took his hand, said nothing. After 20 years of marriage, she had learned when silence was better than words. Is it enough? Alexei asked finally. They're dead, all of them, but Marcus is still gone. It was never about bringing him back. It was about making sure they remembered, making sure the next empire thinks twice before killing human children. Alexei nodded slowly. They call me a monster. Yes, they were right. Elena squeezed his hand. You're a father who loved his son. The universe needed reminding that humans protect their young. That we're not prey. That we're not victims. That we're the species that split the atom and walked on our moon and refused to die when the galaxy came calling. I became everything I taught Marcus not to be. You became what he needed you to be. What humanity needed you to be. She looked up at the stars. They'll tell stories about Baba Yaga for 1,000 years. About the human who broke an empire. And maybe, just maybe, the next aliens who find us will remember those stories. We'll choose peace over war. Alexei pulled off his wedding ring. Inside was engraved, forever and always. He had worn it through every battle, every killing, a reminder of what he fought for, who he had been before Baba Yaga. He kissed Elena gently. Then he took the white mask from his coat, the mask of Baba Yaga. He placed it at the base of Marcus's monument. A father's grief made manifest, a warning to the universe. Let them remember, he said quietly. Let them all remember what happens when you kill a human's child. They walked home together. Behind them, the mask sat in the moonlight, white ceramic with red markings. Some say on quiet nights, you can still hear whispers around the monument. Alien voices, warning their young. Never anger the humans. They have Baba Yaga, and Baba Yaga never forgets. The Korthax Empire survived, diminished, weakened, but alive. They changed their military doctrine, added new rules. First among them, never kill human civilians, never harm their young, never wake their demons. Because humans had demons, and the worst of them was love. Love that could turn a peaceful woodcutter into death incarnate. Love that could bring down empires. Love that could burn the stars themselves. Marcus Chun died a hero. His father lived as a monster. Together, they saved humanity. And somewhere in Siberia, an old man tends his garden. His hands, which once dealt death across the galaxy, now bring life from the soil. He smiles when children visit, tells them stories, teaches them woodcraft. He never mentions the basement, never mentions the weapons, never mentions that Baba Yaga is not dead, just sleeping, waiting, in case the universe forgets again what humans will do for love.